packed with cardboard cutouts, we cautiously anticipate ever-increasing attendance. And after fake audio, we'll hear real boos and cheers again. And my beloved Mets have a new owner with deep pockets, Steve Cohen, and he showed himself as a man of his word as he signed new shortstop Francisco Lindor to a 10-year, $341 million extension, hoping that it'll end our long championship drought. Welcome back, baseball, and let's go Mets. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Only 4% of high school basketball players play in college, and only 1% of them make it to the pros. Only greatness gets you to the next level. What about your business? It's hard to be great if you're still using QuickBooks and Junior Varsity Business Systems. Chances are you're spending more time chasing down information instead of growing. It's time to move up to the varsity team with NetSuite by Oracle. NetSuite gives you visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Everything you need to grow all in one place instantaneously. Join hot companies like Bombas, Lovesac, Spikeball, and over 24,000 of the fastest growing businesses using NetSuite to automate processes and close your books in a fraction of the time. Days, not weeks. With NetSuite, you're ready to advance. Let NetSuite show you how they'll benefit your business with a free product tour at netsuite.com/hoops. Schedule your free product tour right now at netsuite.com/hoops. netsuite.com.
Green up your lawn with Scott's best 4-step lawn program. It's only $64.99 after instant rebate. And get a $20 gift card. 6 locations or order online at EnglishGardens.com. Call 800-335-GROW for the store nearest you.
The tournament is down to just 4 teams. So if you've been watching from the sidelines, now's your chance to get in on the action. FanDuel Sportsbook is hooking you up with exclusive 40-1 odds on all 4 teams left in the bracket. Even the favorites, that's right, new users can get 40-1 odds on any team to win this round. You can win $200 on a $5 bet. All you have to do is download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and make your first deposit to unlock exclusive 40-1 odds. The app is easy to use, and when you win, you can pay in as little as 24 hours. Just sign up with the promo code Doug so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Doug. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. New users only. Must wager in designated offer market. $10 first deposit required. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problems, call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. 1-800-270-7117. FanDuel, official sponsor of 97.1 The Ticket. If you're a man facing divorce or custody issues, don't take a chance on your future. Call the expert attorneys at Adam, 248-356-80AM. 248-356-ADAM. 248-356-80AM.
What are you waiting for? It only takes an hour for you to have your child's heart screened. Get your kid's heart checked at the Ernst Cardiovascular Center at Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oak. Details at 971theticket.com. You could win the ticket signing bonus. $1,000 11 times each weekday. Powered by BetQL. Let BetQL's proven data and analytics help you become a better. Download the BetQL app today. Listen for the keyword at half past each hour between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. Text that keyword to 72881 before the end of that hour. Message and data rates apply, and you could win a $1,000 signing bonus on 97.1 The Ticket. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
97.1 The Ticket. By the way, speaking of our BetQL app, the Indians minus 195, a 3-star bet versus the Tigers in BetQL. So big money. It looks like the Indians are the play, but minus 195, that's kind of a lot. All right, talking about the Tigers, Dan Dickerson will join us in the 7 o'clock hour, right at 7 o'clock. What do you expect? What do you want to see from this team? Look, let's be honest. They're not going to be competing for the playoffs. They'll barely be able to compete for 500. That would be a holiday to get to 500. Tom in Marine City, you're on 97.1 The Ticket.
Yeah, Tony, you were just talking about what I was hoping to see the power hitter the Tigers have picked up away from Baltimore.
Nunez.
Yeah, and they just waived them last week with Jimenez, and I was like, I can't believe the guy on average hit 28 home runs a year in the bigs. I think it was in the paper. Last year, I think it was the highest Tigers hit maybe 13 home runs.
Yeah,
And
he
they've got no power spread at all.
I know that's my concern. We heard me talk to AJ Hitch about that earlier in the week. I'm obsessed with that. But he probably didn't look at the spring. He did, they waived him, but he's back in Toledo in camp, so he's still in the organization. So maybe that's good. And Warzana can hit some runs, though, right?
Yeah, I mean,
But you're right. They have no power.
No, maybe, they don't respect anybody. He's a 6'5" single hitter. He can't, even hit the ball right center, and he can't get a double because he can't run. And it's just.
Come on, Tom is going to be energized this year. He's playing in first base. Like I said, I would like to see him hit 13 home runs, get the 500, would be great. Ticket text 248-539-9797. I expect the Tigers to lose 100-plus games. I want to see Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green, and Mize with the Tigers this season. Let's see what they do. Okay, Mize is on the team. He's going to pitch, the next few days. Okay, that's number one. Riley Green starting off in Double A. Torkelson is starting off in Grand Rapids, which is High A ball. I don't want to see Spencer Torkelson this season, unless he just is completely unbelievable, because it's too early for him. He had one hit in all of spring training. Okay.
It is too early for Torkelson and Green.
Yes.
I think especially Torkelson.
Yeah.
Green next year, I'd love to see him on the team and see something. Again, you see players around the league, though, younger, that are contributing. It's just frustrating that the Tigers can't get that guy.
Oh.
And the whole Mize thing, I don't think I'm being too tough. I don't. It's just...
No, I mean,
I know that it's time.
Yeah, and he's going to be 24 soon. Tarek Skubal is 24. Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green. This should be the young nucleus of what should be celebrating in 3-4 years.
And what will be frustrating, guys, if these guys don't turn out. And it's way too early especially on Green and Torkelson.
Yes.
And it's not too early to question Mize, but it's not just like, Al Avila selling us a bag of goods here. You look at these highly respected people who look through the farm systems and prospects of all these guys, very highly rated. Everybody says Mize is not a definite number one overall, but 95% of these guys says you got to take it.
Yeah.
So, and maybe it's the development. Maybe it's the development that's the problem here.
Casey Mize was supposed to be at least a number 2 starter in Major League
Yes.
Baseball.
Absolutely.
A guy that could go out and go 15-10 with a 3.5 ERA and a decent whip. That was the minimum. It was kind of, and that's where I'm starting to have the problem. I'm very concerned that that's not going to be the outcome.
But we have to be fair. In one aspect, he had, what do you have? How many starts did he have last year? I'll look it up. I mean, he was brought up as a weird year, so now he's got a full spring training.
Hey.
We'll see.
Yeah, what do you have? I think he had 28 innings.
Yeah,
I mean, I know, and the whole thing, I'm concerned about baseball in general with the development of young players in the minor league system and what's going on. Baseball players need to be on the field and repetitively play games.
I know. That's what killed a lot of these guys last year because of the no minor leagues. Here you go. Nick from Farmington. Good morning, guys. Happy opening day. I couldn't name more than 3 players on this team. Are we still saying the Wings are worse than this team?
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
Yeah. Well,
They're pretty close.
but so when you talk about development, and when we talked to Matthew Boyd last week, he was talking about some of the things that Chris Federer has done with him and some of the analytics that he is providing him and the knowledge. And I'm excited to see what this staff will do. I know Chris Federer is not going to be able to be present.
It's Chris Federer. Federer helps with the backhand.
Sorry. Federer.
He should retire his jersey.
Chris Federer. But I'm excited to see what type of coaching we're going to get from him and developing this staff, because he was very successful in doing that while he was at Michigan. And AJ Hinch has brought him in, and we've heard from Matthew Boyd. We're going to get a chance to hear from some of the other guys as this season goes on. I think that is as well a major piece to this puzzle that's starting to come together.
Am I panicking a little bit by saying that era. Okay? Do you think? No, I'm not being negative, Nancy. I think you have got to put this into the conversation now.
My
that-
apologies. I couldn't hear what you
Who
said.
ended up hitting it out of all those guys that Randy Smith had? And the Tigers had the best farm system. Blah 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 blah. Who hit?
I don't think anybody said they had the best farm system.
Yeah, they did. Back in the late '90s, they were Baseball America's #1 farm system one year.
Justin Thompson, Nate Cornell.
Well, yeah, Juan Encarnacion. I mean,
Yes.
are we reliving this? I think it's fair to start putting it in the conversation.
Yeah, there's no doubt. But, you know, we have to give the top guys a chance. Torkelson and Green before we
Yes,
even go there.
Too soon for that. All
Yes.
I'm saying is,
Well, that's my biggest problem, as I've said for years, is they've never developed a positional player who's really, really good.
but it just goes back to what I said last segment, though. You don't see a unicorn yet.
All right, 97 on the ticket. We'll talk about this. Dan Dickerson, the voice of the Tigers here on 97 on the ticket, will join us coming up next. 97 on the ticket.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines all day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
This update is brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. 1-800-LOW-RATE. Capital Mortgage Funding. Best mortgage banker. The 2021 baseball season officially begins today for the Tigers as they'll take on the Cleveland Indians on opening day at Comerica Park. Matthew Boyd will get the starting nod for the Tigers in Game 1. He'll be matched up against the Indians' Shane Bieber. Our coverage of opening day begins at 12:50. Meanwhile, former Indians All-Star shortstop Francisco Lindor agrees to a 10-year, $341 million contract last night with the New York Mets, a deal that's the third richest in Major League Baseball history. Another game, yet another loss for the Pistons as they drop a 124-101 decision to the Portland Trailblazers last night at Little Caesars Arena. The Red Wings will look for their third victory in the last 4 games as they tangle with the Panthers tonight in Florida. Our coverage of that game will start at 6:45. Florida's Kyle Pitts impressing NFL scouts and coaches who attended his pro day yesterday by posting a time of 4.44 seconds in the 40-yard dash. Afterwards, Pitts was asked about the possibility of being taken in the first round by the Lions and forming a 2-tight end tandem with T.J. Hockenson.
I think that would cause a lot of problems because you have two great tight ends who run around the block, so that kind of makes it hard for defense to scheme it up. But like I said, having those two tight ends that can do different things in line in different areas, that's something that's kind of difficult for our defense to guard.
Based on his pro day, however, the chances are slim Pitts will make it to the Lions at number 7. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
All right, thank you, T.O. I know one of Jamie's favorite days was opening day. One of the favorite segments of opening day was to get to talk to this guy. We love him as well, the radio voice of your Detroit Tigers here on 97.1 The Ticket. The one, the only, Dan Dickerson. Happy opening day. Snow on the ground.
I'm driving now. We could have it any other way. Come on, 70 on Tuesday. Forget it. We need a little snow to set the atmosphere.
I know. How are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing? I'm driving to a ballpark for the start of the full season with fans in the stands.
I know.
Couldn't be much better.
It's got to be great. Dan, obviously, everybody's always optimistic opening day. What do Tiger fans have to be optimistic about this season besides the new manager and that type of thing, the whole new coaching staff?
Yeah, I think, someone made the point. Every new coaching staff has ideas, and everybody gets excited. But I'm just telling you, this coaching staff, the idea they brought from organizations that have won World Series to this team, and the way the players have embraced all the hard work that goes along with it, pouring those contests, has been impressive. And I think that's what fans should look for. Look for the improvement of Casey Mizes, the Joe Schubels of the world, but also guys who've already been here who aren't quite maybe established yet. Tamer Candelario continuing, his improvement from last year, Willie Castro as well. But I just think there's a whole different feel about this team. I mean, Ron Gardner and the staff did a heck of a job trying to turn something around that was going in the wrong direction. But it's just now there's a little more talent, and this coaching staff, I think, has a real ability. I think A.J. Hinch has a gift getting the most out of his players because how he communicates and all the ideas he and his coaching
to be the stud, or is he going to be just one of those guys?
Oh, no, he's not going to be one of those guys. He's going to be a top rotation guy. It's just a matter of probably it's the rare guy that comes in and dominates as a rookie. I mean, he's still a rookie. He's going to probably make 20-some starts, right around 20. They're going to limit his innings to around 120, but they don't want him to think about that now. Just go right now. The way he finished, Stoney, that to me tells me about what the staff is doing in terms of teaching the concepts. So, keep in mind, struggle ball strength. Throw strikes at the beginning. And then it's like, hey, throw more strikes. Okay, non-throwing strikes, not getting hammered. Okay, does he not have the stuff? No. AJ Hinch said, he's got the stuff. The stuff is elite. But he's just figuring out how to use it. Then at the end, 1 walk, 15 strikeouts in the last 9 innings with just a couple of runs. So, he's got it, but it's a process. That's going to be a process this year because Keith fans will look forward both schools on high. I think the rest of the goes on.
How much do you look at, excuse me, Miguel Cabrera? He's got, has the opportunity to get 500 home runs, 3,000 hits, all of that, and you might get a chance to make that call. Do you practice that? Is that something you're like, hey, when it happens, I want to make sure to say this, or is that just something for you that's off the cuff?
I learned a long time ago that first year that they run the whole thing that I practiced my first ball. They made the playoffs in 06. And I looked back and I'm like, okay, that sucks. That sounded like you were So what I've learned is, okay, you have to know how significant this is, how little history of the 500 club, and, put it in perspective historically in terms of in your mind. But then you just have to react to the moment and then see what comes out. So I want to make sure I'm prepared with the numbers and the displacement history. But in terms of what I'm going to say, I'll just let it out when it happens.
Dan Dickerson joins us on the Stoney and Jansen program. All right, so John brought up Miggy. Every spring, it's always in the best shape of his life. He's this, he's this, he's this. Well, how did he look? I know he appeared to be more energized because Hinch is going to let him play first base a little bit. What do we should really expect from him? Will he be healthy? Will he play 140, 150 games?
I think he will. It's going to be mostly DH. AJ's really, I think, tempted to use him more than just a day or two a week at first because he did look good. He is energized, and I think it's a smart plan to play him out there because it energizes him. The thing that you saw was Mickey, I think, he came in a little bit bigger than last year, but I think that's good. I think he's happier at a certain weight, and he feels like, okay, I can drive the ball. I asked AJ at the end of spring, I said, what do you see in his swing? We saw, what's in the spring, and he said, we saw 2 balls driven hard. On the day when he later went out and hit a home run against Chad Green on a fastball 96 down and away, he said, it's just a guy who has to watch for about 12, 15 games. The ball travel deeper. In other words, he's not cheating to get to a fastball in spring, or he's not anticipating that pitch in. He has to let that ball travel, hit that ball the opposite way. He just kept doing it, making easy outs. And then at the very end, there it is. You see Miggy driving fastballs to all fields with power. That's a very good sign. And we saw a little bit of that in spring, and we saw it at the end of last year. And then punishing the mistakes that hang on the inside part of the plate. That's what's to watch for. Because he went through a 30-game stretch last year where he had 3 extra base hits, and it wasn't happening. It happened at the end. We saw it at the end of spring training. I'm really excited. Call me crazy. I know what the numbers say for the last 4 years. He's league average. I still think he's got that above average season in him. And I think we'll see it this year.
Well, speaking of power, I know Stoney has talked about this. We're all concerned. Is there anybody else on this roster where you could say, you know what, there's some power there. There's the ability to strike fear in the other pitcher. There's the ability to go yard. Who else could it be on this roster?
It's a great question, and that's why I think they really worked hard with Renato Nunez and his agent to keep him here because he's going to get at bat in this organization or on this team at some point at the major league level, and he's got pure power. So I would put him in that group. He showed power last year. He's a low walk guy, but he's got power. He's a threat. Bobby Grossman showed power last year. The question is, will he this year? I think there's more in there. I'm not sure it's quite as. It was big power last year. I'm not quite sure it's at that level, but he provides some. Candelario was more of a double guy, more of a line drive guy, gap to gap.
So it does raise the question, where will the power come from? You added Ramos and Mazzara. Both can hit home runs, but I wouldn't call either. I mean, there's monster power in Mazzara's bat, but when I see a guy hit a lot of balls on the ground, half the balls put in play are on the ground, to me that's not a true power hitter. That limits obviously how many home runs you're going to hit. So it is a question. I think they'll provide some power, but I think that is still going to be a question, big question mark going into this season. The offense wasn't good this spring, and you try not to overreact with veterans trying to get their swings down. But for fans, I would look for what kind of power do they have through the month of April. April's not a great